gentle parenting makes for a gentle child. I think that there are rules and in their structure, and there's a thing called boundaries, and boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves. And if we raise kids with no boundaries and no structure and discipline, they go out into the world and they don't understand that, and they end up being in battles, and they end up actually having a lot of issues with law enforcement. They end up being the child that's disruptive in school and class because they don't understand that the world doesn't revolve around them. There's a big world that they are able to participate in, but they cannot be the center of attention to everything. And so I'll end on saying that what I do agree with is that every child is different, and that every child may not necessarily need the same level of discipline, but every child does need structure and discipline in order for that child to grow up and be an adult who understands that this is the law of the land. This is how life works. And successful people, not just only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is discipline and boundaries.
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men. Hold on, everybody, especially men.
You are a gentle.
God,
you are a very, very.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. That's what we need in the world is more gentle men who understand.
You're very gentle, and it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back. Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Teray, first of all, Teray.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show.
First of all, Teray, first of all,
we're getting out of here. Like, what is the point?
Teray,
what is the point? It says go to host.
Voice when you're talking to me. Lower your voice when you're talking to me. Because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Teray, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Teray, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold on,
Talk to your wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
Are we ready?
I've been ready. Been ready.
Ariva, Frank, you guys ready?
Yep.
You ready to wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak off camera.
Oh, yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in. It's old Dr. Cheyenne Bryant that made her way all over the timeline on this beautiful Memorial Day once again. And I had a link in the description where you can watch that clip at the beginning in full from Truth Talks Live. Is this video, to my understanding right here, is actually from last year where her, Torrey, and the other co-hosts on the show were running something together, which they eventually stopped doing. But with everything going on with her as of late, for some reason this thing got resurfaced and released to the internet. I don't know if this was scrapped or not, but you can hear, and I had to censor it for the monetization purposes, how many times she was saying F this, who the F you talking to, watch your effing mouth how you talk to me. Now, Torrey did say what the F are you doing right now as well in that conversation. But with her and her last couple weeks allegations of her pushing this false narrative about her doctor's certification, this is not another good situation for her to be put out on the internet. Now, it's several layers to this conversation when I hear it in full right here, and I got to keep it all the way 1,000. Now, with her going to the Breakfast Club, then the other show afterwards, and basically really putting herself on display and really throwing it out there and killing her own credibility in real time, because it's been going on now. Are you a real doctor or not? Then when she went on there and said, well, these doctors out here just use the real certification so they can build the insurance. So she coming at their situation. So you know they got the research and digging. They add it all out. She doing a lot of fluffing and bluffing out here when she's speaking on these certifications and things. But she want the respect putting on her name with like she really certified in that lane. Well, now with this right here, this coming out for her, it's gonna show unprofessionalism. It's gonna show her not being able to keep her cool. Why is you turning up like that if you really want to be looked at and respected as a doctor? They gonna say you supposed to be able to hold your composure and your cool. Why you talking like that? Why you turning up? Why you going crazy? Why you dropping F-bombs all over the place? Now, when it comes to Touré, if you don't know him, he's got one of the big moments in media history with R. Kelly, the viral moment when they talk about, hey, how young are we talking about here? So he got that. But Touré, I completely disagree with that soft parent stuff. Just getting this in the context. Stuff that he pushed, I called him out recently for coming out and saying this hogwash garbage about people that was protesting the ICE agents, saying it's okay for them to call a black ICE agent. They can use the N-word calling him that because they calling him a house in, and that's technically that. They're not just calling him an in. Man, people like that, bro, I don't take them serious at all. Touré be all over the place talking. Ain't nobody really listening to bro when it comes to this who really solid. Nah, you raise your kids how you want to raise your kids, whether you want to be a strict parent, you want to spank them, whoop them, punish them. Hey, as long as you ain't going overboard, still, that's your choice, that's your right to say. But saying, hey, man, getting physical with your kids, putting fear in your kids, that's not good parenting. And I'm seeing a lot of people agreeing with that conversation, a lot of topics. In my opinion, discipline, physical discipline, whether it's spanking, whooping, and most definitely explain and understand why you're doing it. What is it happening for? Because it teaches structure. And that's what Cheyenne Bryant was pushing right there. And I most definitely agree with it, because I'd rather you get the whooping at home than go out here in the world and don't get them boundaries. Now, sometimes you might have that child or that kid when you ain't never got to whoop them in your life. But some kids, they need that discipline. It just is what it is. They try to tie this to, that goes back to slavery days. Man, no, bro. Put the best thing that I ever got from my T-lady and my people was whoopings. Just keeping it all the way 1,000. That's the major blessing. It builds character. It teaches you, hey, this is a punishment, and I'd rather y'all punish me at home than me go out into the world and get some punishment for some other type of consequences. To each his own on that conversation, though. But right here, Cheyenne Bryant is all over the timeline again. And to keep it 100, she did it to herself. She kept talking, and you're not the person that has this experience and this relationship advice. If you just want to be an influencer, be an influencer. But when you came at them other doctors and said they just doing this to build the insurance, that's what really turned it up for her, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. She gonna keep standing on it, because obviously she got that support group that's gonna be there regardless, ride for, root for. They are fans and they supporters, but it is what it is. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos. Tap into that Urban Politicians TV Patreon as well on the website of the app. New videos and streams on there, and we got more coming. Lock in with us for shit show. Stay on your pivot.